So Rush Hour is my favorite kung fu movie of all time. My favorite scene from those movies is this one.
How you gonna come up here and jam me up like this, James? Huh? You embarrass me in front of my wife? My kids out there?
There's two things that are really core to this scene. Don Cheadle speaks Cantonese, and he does kung fu. But the thing that really ties the whole scene together is the way that he's dressed. He's not just a black man with a Chinese restaurant on Crenshaw, he looks the part too. He's dressed in an extremely Chinese way. But what does that actually mean? Let's break down the fit. So his hat is called a guapi mao, a melon rind hat, since it looks like a melon rind. But the more interesting part is actually at the back of the hat. It's a braided ponytail called a queue, and it's actually got a bit of a controversial history. So China's last imperial dynasty, the Qing dynasty, was ruled by an ethnic group called the Manchu. And the traditional hairstyle of Manchu men was to shave the front while leaving the back long and braided. But while the Qing dynasty was ruled by the Manchu, the majority of their subjects were from the Han ethnicity, where traditionally both men and women wore their hair long and uncut. So when the Han people were conquered by the Manchu, adult men were required to cut their hair and change their clothing style as a show of loyalty. When China and the West first made contact, these Manchu hair and clothing styles had already become the standard, so that's what we usually associate with China. His suit could be called a kung fu uniform. I mean, kung fu styles don't really have uniforms, but in the West we usually associate this kind of clothing with kung fu styles like Tai Chi and Wing Chun. But in China, it more generally represents a man of culture. So, drinks tea, does calligraphy, that kind of thing. His shirt has some distinct features. The Mandarin collar, the panko, the symmetrical hem. If you're interested in the history behind each of these, I have another video that goes into it. In this case, his shirt also has contrast cuffs. Maybe to accentuate the hand movements, maybe as a reference to Bruce Lee. So his shoes. We don't get a good look at what he's wearing in this scene, but we can guess that it's a pair of kung fu shoes, which is a type of cloth slip-on shoe worn by kung fu stars like Bruce Lee and also your grandparents if you're Chinese. By the way, there's another famous kung fu master who also wore these shoes, Kendrick Lamar, in his music video for DNA. Don Cheadle is also in that video, and they're both an homage to the original Kung Fu Kenny.
They're brothers.
Oh, all right.